Welcome to the Pressing Matters tutorial for the KS Coordinator quilt. What we're going to be talking about now is the way I get my best press for my blocks. So let's go over to the iron. All right, so I've moved my block piece over to my ironing mat. And so what I wanted to talk about is your must-have tools is an ironing board and an iron. But I'm going to share with you some of my extra optional tools that I use to get my really flat seams. So I'm a huge fan of flatter spray, my wool ironing mat, and a tailor's clapper. These are optional. You can still make the quilt without these things, but it's what makes my seams extra flat. So before we go pressing our seams open, I finger press my seam open. And to do this, so I'm giving a very gentle tug, only because I want to get this underside as flat onto my surface as possible. So it's and I have my finger giving gentle pressure on the other side of the seam so things don't get over pulled and overstretched. Because it's very important we're not stretching. So I'm finger rubbing or with my nail there, giving a little scratch. And that just makes it a lot easier to come back with my iron and to prevent me, if I tried to do it in the past when I've done it with just out pre-opening it, I've actually burned myself a few times with my iron. So this prevents me from having that issue. Okay. So now you can either hit it with your iron, or what I do is I give it a quick spritz of my flatter. And the most important thing is that we are pressing and not ironing. So you can see I'm lifting it completely up and down, placing it on top of my seam. I'm not moving the iron around. And then my optional step is I take my seam clapper and just for a couple quick seconds on top of my seam, I hold it there. See how nice and flat that is? And then I rotate my block, and I also press on the front side. So I'll give a little press of my iron, and then place my tailor's clapper on top. Just a couple seconds, and that helps to pull the heat out of the fabric and really set your seam. And the wool mat helps because it absorbs and pulls in the heat, and it's like pressing it from both sides at once. So it makes everything just really flat and smooth.